It's hard to believe. At age 18, his body has painful boils. He drops to under 100 pounds. And as he just said, he went to the doctors. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. Then he went to the witch doctors. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. He was in critical shape. But in the meantime, the nastiest student at his school had an encounter with the Lord. And so he saw such a transformation. He talked to him. And this friend of his said, well, if you come out to my church, you'll be healed. So he's not too interested in God and Jesus. He just wants to be healed. So he goes to the church, but he got something that he didn't bargain for. He had a genuine encounter with the living God. But he wasn't healed. However, a month later, a mysterious light comes into him. Tell me about that.
I was living with an alcoholic uncle, and I went to sleep on a bed that was on the floor. And then all of a sudden, the room that I was in was filled with the most brilliant white light I've ever seen in my life. It was the manifestation of the glory of God. And then that white light beamed into me from my head down to the sole of my feet, and then literally in seconds unzipped my body like opening up a luggage. And my spirit stood up, and I could see my lifeless body on the floor, on the bed. I could see everything. I was aware of everything around me, and my spirit looked like my body, And then suddenly the glory of God lifted me up, and I found myself on top of the roof of the house we were living in. I could see the neighborhood, and then all of a sudden, in front of me, on top of the house, I see this demonic prince. I saw this demonic principality filled with what I could only call as rivers of hate. I've never seen so much hate out of anybody. Demons really hate people. And I looked at this demon, and all of a sudden, it came after me, but there was no fear in me, though.
You're a baby believer. How come you had no fear?
That was the most interesting thing, because the way I was raised, I should be very afraid, because we were raised to be afraid of the demonic world and what they can do to you. Witches are legends in Africa. So I should be afraid, but instead there was zero fear in my spirit. As I looked, and when I looked at the demon, my spirit could scan the history of the spirit. I knew exactly the dimension of the spirit, what it could do. It was amazing, just like in seconds. And then when it reached out for me, we began to fight, and it was a 50-50% fight seed. Then all of a sudden, something changed. Right above us, the sky, the heavens opened up, like a roundly opened up. And as it opened up, the same shining, glorious light that entered my bedroom covered the neighborhood to a degree whereby I could see something very tiny in my neighbor's yard. The whole neighborhood was covered with light, and I thought everybody's going to rise up and come out and watch what's going on. They must be seeing this. And nobody came out. And then all of a sudden, so me and this demonic principality are now looking towards the heavens, and we see a majestic golden hand of a man with a huge nail imprint in his hands. And it rested over us. And all of a sudden, a door opens out of his hand.
A door opens out of his hand.
A door opens, and the blue scroll comes out. And he speaks, as a blue scroll comes towards me, he speaks to me, and he says, "Son, use my word." And the scroll comes, and I touch it, and it goes into me. Now, I'm a baby Christian. And so the only scripture I know is John 3:16.
God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He knows this. Okay.
Yes, and so that's the only thing I remember, because coming from a Catholic background, that's the only Bible I had, was John 3:16. And so I said it. I said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, and whoever believes in him shall not perish." When I said it, there was a lightning from one end of the heavens to the next. Then the lightning was followed by what I could call billions of thunders. It was the largest sound I've ever heard in my life. The authority of the word shocked me. It was amazing. Everything shook, and I thought the houses were going to collapse into rubble. And the next thing that I saw was this demonic principality was lying flat, head first by my feet. After the glory of God left and I got back into my body, I was instantly healed from 3 years of all the boils. Everything in my body, all the pains disappeared completely.